Alright class, so today we're going to talk about Blue Monk in a theory aspect. So the first thing we're going to learn is I'm going to play you the melody, and then we're going to have a quick conversation about what's different with the melody as opposed to other things you've heard of. So this is going to be this Blue Monk, just a melody. 1, 2, ready? So did you guys hear anything different in that melody as opposed to other classical pieces or something you may have heard before?
Sounds very chromatic.
Chromatic? As in like, there's a lot of chromatic notes in between, or the whole thing is just...
Yeah, in between like the main notes, there's a lot of chromatic.
Okay, so like the root notes or the downbeats. Anything with the rhythms too? Any strange rhythms that you think you heard that were different than other, maybe like triplets or something like that? I'm not a good piano player, so maybe you didn't hear the triplets, but there's a section with triplets in there that I don't think is a very common rhythm in classical music. So what we're going to do now, I've sent you the link of the melody transposed to your keys because you play B flat, clarinets are in B flat, and altos in E flat. So I sent you the melody in those keys. So let's take a minute now for you guys to learn the melody, and then later on we're going to have an activity where you're going to need to know the melody. So let's just a minute to learn it. Sounds like you guys have been practicing, so that's good news for me. Look, I'm glad I sent you the link a few days beforehand. So let's play it together once, so to hear how it sounds. So I'm gonna give you 4 measures, 4 beats to start, and then we're gonna play together. 1, 2, ready, and. So let's move on now. We're gonna talk to you now about the 12-bar blues, which is actually the chord progression of the Blue Monk. And this is a very simple chord progression. So let me write it out here on the board. And since Blue Monk is going to be in B flat, we have B flat as our first chord, E flat for our second chord, B flat for our third and fourth chord, E flat for our fifth, E flat again, B flat twice, then we go to F. It's going to be the only, then we change to a different chord as opposed to those two, and B flat for 2 more. And all these chords are going to be dominant, so let me just add a 7 here for all of them. So what do you think that dominant, the flat 7 is going to change in the melody, as opposed to if it was just a regular F major chord?
It's gonna make it sound jazzy.
Jazzy. Okay, so what does that mean? We're gonna the flat 7 in, let's say, in the B flat. What does that mean? We're gonna lower if it was the 7th of the scale.
A.
Okay, so we're gonna be playing A flats, and just same thing in E flat. We're gonna be playing, instead of D naturals, we're gonna be playing
D flats.
D flats. And same thing in F. We can also play E's or E naturals. So that's going to bring us into the next thing that we're going to talk about, which is the blues scale, which is one of the main things when it comes to soloing in jazz. So here's the blues scale. I've written this out before because it was a little difficult for me to figure it out, because normally I know it in C, but we learned it in B flat. So the notes that we're going to be playing, it's a blues pentatonic scale. So we have B flat, D flat, E flat, E natural, F, A flat, and B flat again. So that sounds something like this. I'm going to just put it here so you guys can see it. So transposing it to a B flat instrument, what note would you be starting on?
C.
Okay, so can you play that scale for me, starting on C? So it's just up a whole step, right? Mm-hmm. And on E flat, can you play that for me?
Yeah, I was starting.
What's your starting note?
The G.
Okay. Okay, so what were the notes that you played in B flat so they can learn it also on their instrument?
C, E flat, F, F sharp G, B flat C.
Alright, so let's play it together one time. So 1, 2, ready, and alright, sounds good. So this is actually going to be our go-to scale. Like the beginning of improvisation in jazz is going to be on this B flat blues scale. So if we wanted to play over the entire changes, sorry, I didn't put any bar in there. Everything's going to be for a bar. If we wanted to play over this entire scale on this whole chorus, we can just use that scale. And can anyone tell me why? Like, what are the notes in that scale, and how do they relate to the chords here? Well, we're starting on B flat, so we know it's going to work fine over the B flat. And since we said on the 7th is the A flat, we can use the A flats in that scale. But also we notice there's an E flat, E naturals, and Fs, so it's going to take care of the flat 7. So let's see. We're gonna now try quick trading fours. So just use any note of that scale that you want while the chords are going by. So I'm just gonna conduct, and whoever wants to play just 4 measures of that scale, and then we'll switch. So just play it 4 times. It's gonna end weird, but that way you'll have a chance to play at least once of 4 bars. So let's try it. Let's start with Mike and work our way down, and then we'll finish off with Elizabeth. So I'm just going to give you...
We each play 4 bars?
Yeah, you're each going to play 4 bars. So the first 4 bars, you can play anything you want in that scale, and then switch to the next person, and then we'll just end it. Okay. So let's try that. So starting with Mike. 1, 2, ready, and... Silence is a good thing in soloing. So here you're on the 3rd measure and 4th measure. Okay, so really what you could do in that case, you can also take a rest. There's nothing wrong with that. But just play any one of the notes that you learned on that blues scale. Do you want me to have this out for you so you can see? Wait, let's review what the notes were, Mike. Starting. I mean, you could play these notes, or they're going to work fine. Anything we learned in the B flat blues scale is going to work over any one of these chords. So let's start from Natalie. Let's start from 1. You can just play chord notes. Don't even worry about it. Whole notes.
Okay.
1, 2, ready, and. Alright, that sounds pretty good. I actually like how you all were listening to each other instead of just playing your own idea. So that's going to be the beginning steps of improvisation in jazz. Really what you're going to want to do is just think of what notes you're going to want to play over the changes and listening a lot to each other. So that's going to transfer to other parts of the class that we're going to be learning about today in music and stuff like that. So thank you guys.